Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this new Spectre Operation Battle report around my campaign Operation Dark Winter, which is inspired by the video game Tom Clancy's The Division. In today's mission, the rioters stole a stock of supplies and the goal is to retrieve the stock of supplies. Basically, here is the board we are going to play on today. So lots of new buildings, lots of vehicles, some new stuff since the last mission, like this school bus over here. We have the store over here, which I just also finished painting. One of the new buildings is also this one here with the donut on the side. Still need to do some final touch on the graffiti. We also have this new building over here and the large warehouse on the back. So here the board is already set up. I placed one hidden token in the middle of each of my tile, and this will be a potential position of an enemy. Here on the side I have my deck of enemy, empty and civilian cards, and at each time I will have a line of sight on one of those tokens. I will simply draw one card from that deck. Here we can have a quick look at our friendly forces for this mission. So we have here Nick Hayat, my agent of the division, my main character for this campaign, with his pistol, body armor, one of his ability, and some technology here that could be helpful. We have here John McClane with a SIG P226, Brian Gamble with a suppressed MP5, John Grimes also with a suppressed SMG, and Dante Adams which have one of the worst weapons of the game, but yeah, that's the randomness of this whole campaign. So next, the stock of supplies is over here on the back of this building. I placed it pretty randomly on the board, and right now I don't know where I'm going to be deployed. One thing is that the goal of the mission is to retrieve that stock of supplies. Once one of my model will be in base contact with the stock of supply in day 6 turn, one friendly chopper will arrive and will extract the stock of supplies via a rope, and after that all my model need to escape from the board. Once I have interacted with the stock of supply, basically I will place a beacon on it. Every enemy on the board will be alerted and will be try to move toward the stock of supply. So we need to place down my model carefully to cover all angles. And finally, before we start, one new rule that I will introduce in this mission is the Fog of War card. So basically here I have a card of random action that can happen during the game, and for this specific mission I will roll 2 dice. This will define a turn, so let's actually do that here. I will roll 2 dice for also a 7. That means that at the start of turn 7, I will draw one card from this deck and something will happen. And right now I don't know what it is, and it's just a bit to spice up the randomness of each mission. So yeah, now let's get straight into the campaign. So first what I will do is just take my scatter dice over here and I will roll to define the point of entry of my friendly forces. What I will just do is, if I roll in this area over here, I will just re-roll my dice just to not spawn directly on the objective. And also I have one of these tokens on each tile, and on the tile I will be deployed in, I will just simply remove this token and place it somewhere else. So let's check where we will be deployed. And actually it's exactly what I told you. I don't want to spawn just next to the objective, so let's reroll that. Okay, so apparently we will be toward like the statue here. So yeah, I will just lay down all my model and we can get started. So I just deploy my unit here on this edge of the board, and I place on another tile the token, the enemy placement token that was sitting here. So here the objective is at the back of this alley over here. And yeah, we already have two enemy guarding it. Those enemy won't move, at least they are in line of sight of an enemy. So here, first thing first, we have this placement token over here. We don't have line of sight, so yeah, let's jump into the movements phase. For that, I'm going to move. I divided my agent, my GTF team, in two different groups. We have this first group here with two pistols. We have the silenced pistol and John McClane with the standard pistol, and we have this assault team over here with the two suppressed SMG and the small pistol. So first thing, I'm going to move this first team on the right over here, and this second team toward the back of this construction machine over here to have line of sight on this first token over here. So I just moved my model over here, making sure all the guys with silenced weapon have a line of sight on the token. Here I'm using the nighttime detection table, and I just check this token is within the 0 to 6 inches of this division agent over here. So we'll just take one card from the placement deck and just... and it's empty, so nothing on this. Sorry for the reflection of the light, but it's empty, so here we have nothing on this token. So we can move on to the next phase. Just before we do that, I will roll to just define the direction the enemy group that is guarding the stock of supply is facing. So actually they will be facing toward this angle of the board, so I will move them a bit and then we can jump on the next turn. Next turn I don't have any order, so I can right away move on to the movement phase. For that, I'm going to move this first squad on the edge of the building over here, so just checking the range. They can even advance up almost until the stock of pallets over here. And the second team over here, they will just go on the back of the construction machine and just try to go toward the start of the alley. So my goal will be really to advance directly into the direction of the stock of supplies. I know that in the alley behind this building over here we have an enemy placement token and one over here, but it's still pretty far. So we'll see how it goes, and actually we have line of sight also on this token, so I'm going to check the range on this one. So we are roughly at it should be around 18. So 18. These are train. Actually, the SWAT guy is professional, so the SWAT guy will detect on a 5+, so he don't detect that. And the two military guy are train, so I'm just going to roll 2 dice. They detect on a 6. Okay, so they detect what is it at this location. So I'm just going back to my deck over here. And again, it's nothing. So nothing here. I will just remove that token. So that's a pretty good start. Now I'll jump to the movement phase, move this guy toward the alley, and yeah, we'll see what we do next. So here I just finished my movement. My second team here with the pistol just did a combat sprint just to catch up a bit on the rest of the guy. I just check line of sight and the enemy doesn't have line of sight on my guys, so we can jump on to the next turn, turn 3. So I'm just going to keep track on the number of turns with that dice, so we remember that on turn 7 something will happen on the Fog of War deck. So for this new turn, actually, what I will do, still don't have any order, so I can jump right away into the command phase, into the movement phase. So what I will do is again just advance in the alley over here and just try to get a bit closer. My two SMG over here are The range interval is 10 inches, so it could be great if we can reach this 10 inch between the enemy before we start laying down some shots. So yeah, I will jump on that, I will move my guys, and I will catch you in a bit. So that's it for my movement phase. I'm just advancing down this alley over here. I have the two enemies on the back. I am 12 inches from the first enemy. Actually here I have 10 inches between this guy and this guy. So this one is untrained, and 6 to 12 it detects me on a 4+. We just roll that. Oh, and actually he detects me. That's not good. And the second one is after 12, he will only detect me on a 6. Okay, so the two guys are just detected me. So yeah, I guess I will need to lay down some fire on them. So this model over here, the SWAT guy, is within 10 inches of this first guy with the SMG, and the second one over here is not. So what I will do is the end of my movement phase. The enemy here doesn't move, they will stick toward the objective they are guarding. Now I will jump onto the combat phase. For the combat phase, this model over here will target these guys with the SMG, and this guy over here, it's John Grimes with the Uzi. He will target the guy on the back. So let's actually do that. I will take Brian Gamble with the SMG. He will fire on automatic, so 3 shots at -1, but +1 for the compact. He have a shooting stat of 4, so let's roll that. So 2, 9 and a 6. And I think that he can't beat the 2-9. Let me just have a look at the stat card for the Rioters over here. So the Rioters, let me just place down that here. The Rioters have a defense of 1. So yeah, they can't beat the 2-9. The first shot, even if it's not a lethal wound, will still even though it's not a lethal shot, it will wound him, and the second shot will automatically kill him. So basically here, the first model, the guy with the SMG, is killed. Now let's go with John Grimes with the Uzi, will target the second guy. So John Grimes, automatic. Yeah, I will fire again in automatic. I will have a -1 to it. He also just have a shooting stat of 3, but yeah, I will just have more luck with 3 shots. And that's pretty bad. So everything goes with a -1. So basically it's 2, 2 and a 1 with a shooting stat of 3. So that's 2, 5 and a 4. And he actually can beat that. So let me just So for the 2, he doesn't beat that because he have a defense of 1, so it's a 3 on a defense, and he can't beat that. Let's check for this one, and he can't beat that either. So basically he received 2 shots and is automatically killed. So this guy over here killed also. And yeah, that's the end of the combat phase. Let's now jump onto the next turn. So it's the start of the turn 4, and here we have an enemy potential token over here that have line of sight on this first group of enemy that I just killed. It's within 6 inches, so I'll just go back on my deck and draw 1 card. So this card will be, and again, empty, so the 3, so we have some luck right now. So let me just take this token out of the way. So now, don't have any orders. What I will do is, actually here, after the alley, we have a potential token. So what I will do is just move carefully my guys to place them in position around this area over here, and we'll see what this token is. Before I forget, I will just give some stats to Brian Gumbel. So Brian Gumbel killed one guy, and John Grimes killed also one guy. Again, I'm doing that because for every 5 kills, my guy will receive 1 additional stat point that will be randomly attributed to one of the 5 different stats. And when you reach 6 points, you this model receive randomly 1 ability like this one over here. And actually, yeah, I just forget that we have some HFG skill that I need to use. So yeah, I will need to keep that in mind for later. So here I just move my group of soldiers here, making sure all the silenced weapons have line of sight on this model over here. So we have Brian Gumbel here with the MP5, here we have the Uzi, and here the silenced pistol. And I have line of sight, so let's draw actually 1 card, and it's... Okay, so it's actually... Oops, sorry. It's actually an enemy group, 2 assaulters, 1 thrower. So 3 enemy, and let's actually roll the scatter dice to define where they are looking at. So they are looking down the street on this side, so they won't have they won't detect me. So yeah, I'm just going to place them. Actually here, let's have a look at the enemy available. So here is my enemy forces. I will randomly select the 2 assaulters and the 1 thrower, I think. And yeah, I will place them in the back of the alley. And yeah, we'll see that. So here is the little group of enemy that I just randomly selected using the available models. We have 1 thrower in the middle that can throw flashbang, CS, frag, and whatnot. We have 1 guy on the back with a pistol and 1 guy in the front with a carbine. So here on the back, as you can see, I have my model ready to fire on this group of enemy. I could let them pass and really just move toward the objective, which is on the back of this building over here. But the problem is that when the alarm will be raised, there will be a lot of main enemy that will try to move toward me. So yeah, I will try to kill them before they move out of sight. So here, while we are still in the movement and tactical action phase, what I will do is activate my scanner pulse. So it's used in the movement and tactical action phase. The scanner pulse reveals all hidden model and objective within 2d6 plus command radius. So it's actually not to do this action because I don't have any other enemy token in that radius. But what I want to do with that is that I receive a +1 to targeting and lethality roll in the AoE of the pulse for that turn. So basically here, I will activate that. That will grant me +1 to targeting roll and to lethality roll for all enemy models, so for the enemy that I will target here. So what I will do, so first this guy over here with the Uzi, John Grimes, he will target the first enemy over here. So let's take 3 dice, he will fire again on automatic. So that's his roll. Again, my enemy have a defense of 1, so let's roll for the 5. And he can't beat that. Let's roll for the 3. And actually 5 plus 1, that's a defense of 6. You have done a 3 plus his shooting of 3. That's the same number, and I will need to check the rules because when it's a tie, I don't remember which one wins. So I just check the rule, and if the fire score exceeds, so it needs to be above, and here we have a tie, so this second shot miss. And actually, sorry for the audio on the last sequence, I forgot to plug in the mic, but it should be better now. So now let's roll for the 2, so with his shooting of 3, I need to beat 5. And I don't, so this second shot also hits him, so 2 shots hits him, hits the enemy, so the enemy is automatically killed. So here John Grimes killed the first enemy here on the back. Now, whoops. Yeah, it's a bit too small, this area. So now my agent of the division here will target the guy with the thrower guy here. So let's check his stat. We have the pistol. I think he's within the first range interval. So where is my ruler? It's here. Let's just double check. Actually, yes, he's just right into the first range interval. So we'll benefit for the +3 for all the accessory. So he will do 2 shots. 2 shots with a shooting of 5. Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, he can't beat that. So basically we have a 10 and a 9 at +3. So yeah, he can't beat that. So this second one automatically killed too. And then the third one, it will be Brian Gamble, the SWAT guy with the MP5 that will target him. So let's actually do that. Same thing here, he will fire on automatic 3 shots. 3 shots, so we have 2-5 with this shooting stat of 4, that's a 9. And I don't think he can beat that with a defense of 1. So again, those 2 shots automatically killed him too. So here, this one is down. So we have 3 enemy Kayaye. Sorry for the bad pronunciation. So let me just do that. So Brian, John Grimes, and Nick Hayat. Oh, okay. Actually, Nick Hayat here killed his 5th model. So he'll right away. Actually, yeah, no. I will do right away the attribution of 1 new stat point. So basically, on a 1 it will be command, 2 agility, 3 shooting, 4 defense, and 5 melee. And if it's a 6 or one of the shooting, again I will just reroll. So it's a 6, I will just reroll, and it's a 2. He will gain he will gain 1 more point in agility, that brings him to 6, and that means that he gain 1 new ability. So let me just grab my ability deck and we'll see what does he gain. So here I just grabbed my ability deck and I will draw 1 card, and it will be Empower. It's an active ability that can only be used once in a game. Give a target ally this model move or combat action. So yeah, not one of the best ability, but it's still pretty good. So basically, let's say John McClane finished his move and or combat action, I can give him a second combat action. For example, if Nick doesn't have in a line of sight any enemy this turn, he can make another model shoot twice. So yeah, actually it's quite good. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Pretty good roll with the agility boost. Yeah, so here we have now those 3 enemy down over here. We have 1 enemy token over here. Let's at the start of the next turn, I will check if this token here have line of sight on this group. Let's actually do that right away. If it is within 6 inches, they will detect the dead body. So it's not within 6 inches. So that's good. So they don't detect the dead body over here. So yeah, now let's jump on to the next turn. So next turn, I think we are at turn 5. So in 2 turns, something will happen with the Fog of War. So turn 5, one tiny thing that is that I'm a bit worried is that if I try to move down this alley over here there is a big open space with 2 enemy tokens that might have a line of sight on me. So that's not really good. And the second option will be to go down this alley over here. we might spot this token here, this token here. So there is lots of possible enemy also in this area. I know that also there is someone in the building itself. So yeah, might not be the best. Final idea might be the one that I will probably do is I will take my 3-man team and actually move up this ladder over here to try to place them on this roof in Overwatch, so they will have elevation, they will be able to have a bonus point when doing targeting role. So yeah, I will try to do that. I'm still not sure if I need to loot those bodies over here with the token over here. Yeah, I need some loot. I really desperately need some better gear. So I think I will do that first. I will move with all my silence weapon down the alley while the rest of the guy loot the dead bodies. And let's jump onto the movement phase and I will check where I can move my guys. So I was a bit too far to actually move my guys in a position where they can have line of sight on this token. So what I did is simply move 2 of my guys in a position near the dead body over here so they can loot them. I've placed this guy here, just move them a bit in cover behind this building, and I move also tactically this team over here so they can have line of sight on this token over here. So first thing, I'm going to loot this guy on the left, then the guy on the right over here. So to do that, I'm just going to roll 1 dice. On a 1, 2, 3, I found nothing, and on a 4, 5, 6, I found something. And on the first guy, I don't find anything. Let's loot the second body. And again, it's a miss, so nothing found on those 2 dead bodies over here. I need to be within 1 inch to loot a dead body, so next turn I might want to just move this guy a bit on the edge, on the corner of this dumpster. I will still be out of sight of this token, so nothing to be worried about on this side. So yeah, maybe I will try to do that on the next turn. So now I will just check the range toward this enemy token over here, just to see if one of my guys over here can detect it. So I just checked the range. My division guy over here is within 19 inches and this guy here is 22. So let's actually check the detection table. My division agent is professional 19, so he detects on a 5+. Oh, and a 6, he actually detects that. So the first token, it will be really the first one over here. What it is, let me know, tell me it's civilians? Oh, okay, no, it's 2 enemy models, so 2 assaulters. Let's actually pick them together. So my assaulters are within those 2 rows over here. So what I would do generally is first row is 1, 2, 3, second row is 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 is the first row, then I divide that in chunks. So on a 1 it will be these 2, 2, 3, and 4. And on a 5, 6 I will just reroll. On a 2 it's one of those. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. So it's the first one will be this model here from Spectre, like one of the Sicarios. And then I'm doing that to select again the second model. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6, so it's the second row. And again, 1, 2, 3. It's a 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And actually I only have one more model, and that's this girl here from Assault 3. So here I have my 2 models ready. Let me just pick the scatter dice to define where they are looking at. Okay, so they are looking roughly this direction. So let me place down the model over here. Here we go. So now that's done, I place down the enemy and I have the enemy here have an assault rifle with or a carbine with some accessories, so it's a really an important threat to me. So I will need to be careful when I will move. I'll try to do some tactical movement to have a +1, a -1 when targeted at. So yeah, let's jump onto the. So this was the start of the turn 6. It was the start of the turn 6 that I detected this guy. So now let's move. Yeah, let's jump into. Actually, never mind. I just finished the movement. It was turn 5, so I just finished moving this guy over here. They detected that group. Now it's the end of this turn. I won't fire, so we are jumping in turn 6. And in turn 6, we start a new turn. So first is the order. And yeah, I'm way too far to place my guy. Actually, in Overwatch. No, I won't place my guy in Overwatch. What I will do is move with my unit. I really need to bring this SWAT guy up front because he's one of the best shooters I have. And what I will do is this second army guy here, I will move toward the dumpster trying to loot this body. And yeah, I will catch you after the movement phase. So, end of my movement phase. So this guy, those two here are in Overwatch, so they didn't move. At least if something goes wrong, they will be ready to shoot. I move my SWAT guy at the corner of this building over here, and I move John Grimes with the Uzi over here. And this guy here, move a bit closer to the dead body over here. Let's actually move just him on the edge so he can loot that body. So first, let's roll to see if he found something. Finally, we found something. So now I will need to roll a second time. On a 1 to 5, I found something from the current difficulty I'm in, so the standard quality deck, and on a 6, it will be a superior card. And it's a 5, so let me actually grab that deck. Where is it? It's okay, it's over here. So here is my deck of loot for this level, and here we have the superior and high-end card. So let's just draw one card from this deck, and it's... oh, that's cool. Yep, trying to focus. A Phoenix 45 with a red dot and a silencer, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because Dante Adams just had the basic Kimber K6S, so now we have this new pistol over here. Just something for this campaign, when I'm looting something I can equip it right away, but I won't be able to place it in the pool for the second team to have it. So for example, if I place that on my back, for example on my backpack, it will be available for the next mission, for the second group of model, but if I'm using it in this mission, it won't be available. And actually I really need that, so I will just equip the Phoenix 45 on Dante Adams. So that's good. I would honestly have preferred like an assault rifle or something a bit long range, but yeah, at least we have some silence weapon, and this is really cool. This is really helpful. So now that was the easy part. I just ended up the action taking place on this area. Now let's have a look at what's happening down here. So for that, I just check when I was moving, but this enemy over here can't really see my guys move, except for the agent of the division, but he's out of range for now. So for now that's good. Now we are moving to the movement phase actually of the enemy, and for that I will simply draw a scatter dice, roll a scatter dice, and roll a standard dice to define the distance they will move. Okay, so that's cool. They will move, let me grab the ruler. They will move in the opposite direction, so that will leave me enough time to actually move up the roof. So here toward this direction, moving 2 inches toward the second token that we have here. Actually, let's see if someone have line of sight on this token over here. So maybe Brian Gumbel here have line of sight on this new token. Let's check the range first. Not that simple to have one camera in hand and the ruler in the other. So we are... Actually, we are just at 24. Oh no, it's 25, never mind. Where is Brian? Okay, so now we just miss 1 inch to be able to detect that one. So that's the end of the movement phase for both myself and the enemy. Let's jump on to the next turn, which is actually turn 7. Turn 7, I will actually draw one of the Fog of War card, which is this deck. I shuffled that before the start of the game, so let's draw one card, and it's additional target. Roll randomly to choose an enemy model. This model has now been identified as an HVT and become a secondary mission objective. This model should be captured alive, plus 5 victory points. If he is killed, minus 5 victory points. If no enemy model are present, nothing happens. Oh no, that's not really good. So in my campaign, when I'm winning a mission, I'm gaining 10 points. If I'm doing a minor victory, it's a 5 points. And if I'm losing the mission, it's also minus 10. I have a point system for each mission, and here basically I need to roll to randomly one of the enemy model that is on the board, and we just have 2 models, so this is the 2 model, and I will need to capture one of those guys. The problem is that I don't have any flashbangs, I'm really far, I probably won't be able to achieve that. But yeah, let's roll on me to define which is how it is called? The HVT. So on a 1, 2, 3 it will be this guy, and on 4, 5, 6 it will be the lady. So it's the lady. To be honest, I really don't know how I will be able to do that. Maybe I can try to shot her with a simple shot, trying to wound her, and I can then stabilize her and take her out of the board while she's injured. Maybe that will be the easiest way to do it, but if the shot is lethal, I will lose 5 points. Yeah, I will check the rules for like going into close combat. I never did that, but yeah, I will check the rule. But anyway, that was the start of the next turn. I will just read quickly the rule regarding that, and yeah, next thing is movement phase. I will probably move my guy starting to climb the ladder, placing them in the roof, and we'll see what's happened. So I just finished my movement phase. One of the first guy moved on top of the ladder over here. Brian Gumbel moved toward the corner of this building. Now the number Dante Adams with the new acquired pistol is over here. Then my 2 guys move tactically, being crouched behind the pack of trashes over here. Now let's jump onto the movement phase of this enemy group over here. Okay, so not good. So they will move 4 inches in this direction. So basically they will just move toward that. Let's actually see if they detect my forces. So let me just grab the ruler again. So they are 7 inches. Let me grab a dice. Looking at the detection table, they are untrained. 17, so they detect on a 6+, they are 2 of them. So they don't detect me. Okay, lucky me. They don't detect me, and I will also just roll for detection for the last token that we have just over here. Now that I have this guy over here, that I have a good line of sight on that model, so he's trained. He will also detect on a 6 plus 1 because he have a better because he have a high ground, so a 5 plus and almost. It doesn't detect that one. So that's the end of the movement phase. Now let's jump on to no shooting. I won't target them for now. I really want to move higher before start to engage them. So yeah, let's jump on to the next turn. Okay, so I just ended up the movement of my unit. This guy jumped out of the balcony, moved toward the center, not being spotted by my enemy over here. The two other team members moved up the ladder. Here, those two guys move tactically down the construction site. So, by the way, my agent of the division will throw his remote pulse. Basically, I can throw up to 12 inches. So let's check where it lands. So it lands roughly... It will land roughly over here. Let's just place that over here. And this remote pulse, it reveals all hidden model and objective within D6 plus command radius of where it lands. So basically I want to reveal that hidden token. So let's roll a die. Just bring that closer to the table. So we just roll a die, and it's a 4 plus command of my model, a 6. So that's a 6. And it's enough. I needed a 5. So it's a 6. I reveal that card. And let's see what it is. Let me know it's... Another group of enemy. 2 assaulter, 1 controller. So we have 5 enemies over this side. And that's not very good. So let's... I will select randomly the enemy in the group over here and then place them. So here is the little group of enemy that just spawned. We have one guy with an AK on the left. We have the controller with his bag where we can take out a turret that he can place on the battlefield. And here we have just a simple guy with a pistol. So that's not good for me, but yeah. Movement phase is done for my turn. Now let's check the movement phase for the two enemy groups. Actually, this one has been just activated. It's not moving, but this one can move. So let's move that. So they move 4 inches in that direction. Yep. So 4 inches. Roughly they will go toward this direction. So that's good. That will buy me some time, but they are getting away from my long-range rifle that try to get on top of that roof. So if those two groups can divide themselves, maybe I will be able to better engage them silently. So that could be perfect. So yeah, that's done for this turn. Now let's jump on to the next turn. So that's the end of my movement phase. My guys take some high ground here on the edge of the building. And here my two guys try to move tactically toward the back of this construction shed over here. Now let's check the movement phase for the enemy. I will first check this group over here. So they come back on their feet, but only for 1 inch, so that's good. Now let's check this second group. What could be perfect if they do like a U-turn or move toward down of the street? Let's check. Oh, okay, so that's actually good. 5 inches down the street. So 5 inches, that will bring the first one just behind the car, and the rest will fall. So the wrong news is that they are now in cover behind the car, and also I don't have any line of sight on any model to try to shoot at them. Yeah, we'll see. So, yep, trying to focus. So that's the end of both movement phase. Don't have any combat phase, just looking at my stuff. Really the problem is that I don't have any like flashbang, smoke or whatever. I'm really missing some gear to have some better option when dealing with that number of enemies. So next turn, my unit here move tactically, so they are crouched, they are behind this small cover over here, so they did a tactical move. My second team here also did a tactical move, trying to go on the back of this shed over here. Now let's check the detection. So here, detection table, we just roll to see if the enemy detect me. So they are untrained. I think it's within 6 inches. So yeah, they are around 10 inch for my enemy, and they did a tactical move, and they are high ground. So let's say it's a 5. Yeah, let's say it's a 5+ to detect them. Actually, first they have high ground. Then there is this bit of cover, then they did a tactical move, they are crouched. So let's say it's a 6. I will roll for those 3 guys. And yeah, 1, 2, and 2. So nothing, they don't detect my team that just try to get up there. And nothing happened over here. So now they will be moving. So this first team over here. So they won't move, they will just look back where they came. For the second team over here, so same thing here, they won't move, they will just look back. So now that should be the end of that turn. I'm wondering if I should just engage with this group over here. I have line of sight on almost all of them with those 3 guys. The one on the right should have like a +3 to defense, since we can only see his head, but my SWAT guy could eventually take him out. That's a tough decision. Let's actually do that. Yeah, let's shoot actually. So first, what I will do is that Brian Gamble here, the SWAT guy with the MP5, will shoot at this guy over here, that we just can see his head. So let's check the range. It could be perfect if it's within 10. And actually it is within 10, so we will benefit for the compact row. So he will fire 3 shots in automatic. Yeah, 3 shots automatic. So, yep, it was a 4. So he have this guy have a defense of 1 plus 3 because he have a pretty good cover. So let's roll for the 5. Okay, so he beat that. Let's roll for the 4. We need to do some math. So Brian Gamble is here. He have a shooting of 4 plus 4, that's 8, plus 1 because he have high ground, plus 1 because of the compact, that's 10. My enemy have a defense of 1, plus 4, that's 5, plus 3 because he have a pretty good cover, so that's 8, so he can't beat that. This one is a hit. Let's check for the last shot. So again, do the math. Not that good in math, so sorry for all the calculations. So 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 1 of defense, that's an 8. And here you have 2 plus 4, that's 6. Plus 1 of the height, 7, 8. So it can't be that. So there is just one shot that hit him. So now let's see if it's lethal or not. On a 5 plus, it's a lethal shot. So let's tell me it's a headshot, and it's not an headshot. Let's roll now on the casualty table. Oh, boom, 5, serious wound. Model is injured and begin to bleed out and will die in 5 turns. So that's good. He's injured. He won't do anything else for the rest of the game. 5. And he's bleeding out. Let's grab a bleed out token. Die in 5 turns. So he's down. And I think... where is... 5 turn may continue to fire sidearm, but he doesn't have one. And he will be basically able to shout, to cry, to do some noise, to attract, to tell everyone that he's being fired at, but he can only cry, and it can be only heard within 6 inches, so that's good for now. So he has shot. Now let's check this guy, which is Dante Adams with a FNX 45. He will shoot at this guy with the pistol. So it's not within the first range interval of the pistol. So I'm just going to check really quickly something in the rule book, and we'll see that the resolution of the shot together. So I was just checking the rule for the pistol, the rapid fire. So basically, if I want to do a rapid fire with Dante Adams, it will be a -1 because of the rapid fire, but it's also a -1 because of the range interval. But it will be also a +1 because I have high ground. So yeah, I will try to do a rapid fire from Dante Adams over here to the guy with the pistol. So 2 shots, a 4 and a 4, and at -1, so basically we have 4, a 7, so we have 2 7 to beat. 2 7, he doesn't have any cover, and yeah, he doesn't have any cover, so basically he need 2 6. And he can't beat that. A 2 and a 1, so he's dead. He's dead. Dead. And finally this one, so John Grimes with the UZ will target him. Let's check actually line of sight if it's really good or if... so John Grimes, he can see pretty much the whole body except the legs. So, whoops. Just trying to not break everything. So yeah, he's not in cover, he can see his full body, so let's do the same thing, 3 shots in automatic, -1 because of the automatic, but +1 because of the eye position. Oh, that's not very good. So, where is here? You have a shooting of 3, so his best, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 to beat. It doesn't beat that one. And here we need to beat 5. 4 plus 1 of defense, he beat that one. Let's check the last one. It's broken. 4 with defense of 1, he beat that one. So 1 shot hits him. Now let's check lethality. A 5 plus, it's lethal. Ooh, okay, it's lethal. Perfect, so here John Grimes shot at him and he is down. So the one on me group has been killed. I'm just checking the range. So it's just outside of the 6 inches, because if someone dies within 6 inches of an enemy model, this enemy model is automatically alerted, and she is not. So actually that's really cool, because all those guys are down, they can't do anything else except for this one that can just cry, oh shoot, I forget about that token. So start of next turn, I will need to draw a card in this deck. But yeah, end of this turn, this group is down, this here is not alerted, and yeah, let's jump onto the next turn. Okay, start of the next turn. First thing I will do is here, this token is within 6 inches. Yeah, it's within 6 inches of this guy here that just has been shot at. So I will draw one card. Civilian, perfect. So let me just grab some civilian from the box and place them on the board. So that's the two civilians that just spawn on the board. They are aware of the gunfight. They will probably try to move out of the board during their movement phase. Actually, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that at the start of the turn. So they will move 3 inches, roughly in that direction. So that's it for them. Now, order. What I will do is place those two guys over here in Overwatch. So if the enemy group here move in their direction, they will be able to shot at them. Yeah, let's place them in Overwatch. I have the token. To be honest, I don't use it too often, but yeah, still have the cool token. Next, what I will do here is just keep moving my guys in a tactical way. So placing him on a corner. Yeah, just try to have a better line of sight on this part of the board. And yeah, that's the end of my movement phase. Now let's check what this enemy group will do. Okay, so 4 inches in this direction. So basically they are already touching that part, so they will just deviate and move those 4 inches back like that. So basically they will do a U-turn, and here, what the fuck, we have some dead body over. So here they just detect that there is some people that are down over here, and yeah, let's jump onto the combat phase where this team over here will try to shoot at them. And actually, the first thing I will do is with the guy with the pistol. Actually, where is my pen? Let me... Okay, he is here. So basically all those 3 just killed all those 3 over here, so all of them will gain 1 additional point. Even Dante Adams. So now that's done, actually Dante Adams will first shoot at the HVT, trying to wound her, but yeah, it's not perfect science. So he won't do rapid fire. He will just do 1 regular shot. A 4 plus a shooting stat of 4, that's 8. Plus 1 for high ground, it's a 9. Let's check defense. 5 plus 1, it's a 6, so she can't beat that. So the shot hits her. On a 5 plus, it's lethal. It's lethal, damn! So he's too precise, he's a too good shooter, so he killed her straight away, and that's one more point for him. And yeah, this mission is lost. It was an additional target, it was like a side, trying to focus, it was like a side mission. but I fail at that. That means that this whole mission can't be a big win, like a complete victory. Sorry for the focus. It can't be a complete victory now that the target here has been killed. But yeah, let's keep going on. So this one is down. Now let's let's try to take. I won't fire with Brian Gamble first because he already has some good stat, and I want to raise the stat of my other soldier. So I'll first take the shot with John Grimes. 3 shot automatic. And that will be hard to beat. So let's first the 6. He can't beat that. The 3. And he can't beat that either. So here is killed. So again, 1 more point for him, for John Grimes. And that's a 4. So that's perfect. That's the end of the combat phase. And yeah, now let's move into the next turn. End of my movement phase. The team here just move tactically over here, just trying to have overwatch on this part of the table. Then my 2 guys over here went on this side. I will try to loot the dead body on the next turn. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that turn. Nothing else happened, no action phase, no enemy movement, since we don't have any movement on the board at the moment. So let's jump on to the next turn. Next turn, my 2 guys here reach the dead body, so here I will load this guy first. Nothing found, then the woman. Nothing found. So next turn, I'm going to keep those guys in Overwatch. I'm going to move those guys next to those other dead bodies over here. So here, this guy is still injured, but he's bleeding out. And when I'm moving, I will just, he's not a target, he's just bleeding out. So we'll loot those 2 dead bodies over here. Again, a 4, yeah, we found something. And if it's a 6, it's a superior card. It's not, so it's just a standard card. Let's draw 1 card. Ooh, Beaufort AK-5C, so that's cool. Finally, some heavy weapons. So any model can carry 2 primary and a sidearm. So he can equip the SIG and the Beauforts, the AK-5. So that's cool. Now let's roll for this second guy over here, and nothing is found. So I'm jumping on quickly through the turn since there is no enemy on the board right now, and since the alert is not raised for now. So next turn they will stay in Overwatch. Here this guy will just move toward this model over here. This guy will stay covering him. We'll loot that one. Nothing is found. Again, jumping on the next turn, what I will do is run toward the group of enemies over here. So 6 inches plus what is their agility? So 6, it's a 6, and him it's a 3. 6, so they basically can move 9 inches. So on the next turn they will move over here, trying to loot the dead body over here. So nothing to fear from this side of the board. There are a couple of hidden tokens over here. Trying to think at where is the best position to place them. Because here, when the alarm will be raised, each enemy token, placement token, will move in the most simple way toward this back over here. So basically here, it will move that way. Here, it will go toward the inside of the store. Probably. So maybe it will be great actually to place them in Overwatch in a better position. Maybe toward this side. Let's actually check what will be their line of sight if they're there. Actually, I won't do that. Let me move my guy over here. yeah, like in real life, I don't know what I will be able to see until I get there. So I'm just moving my guy over here. Okay, so they just reached that point. So now, yeah, no, let's assume that I stopped. I just don't want to go too much on this side. Okay, so now let's check their line of sight. So it doesn't have line of sight on the token on the right over here. Does they have line of sight on the one behind the bus? No, they don't. So they have line of sight on pretty much nothing. So that's not very good, because I really need to get my eyes on what's going on over here. But yeah, let's end up the movement phase over here. We jump on the next turn. On the next turn, same thing here. My guy here will move toward the dead body, trying to loot them again. So 2 guys to loot. Oh, damn. Nothing. Okay, that's a shame. That's that's a shame. So bad with the roll. Okay, so that's end of their movement. Now for this team. Yeah, let me put some thoughts on that, and I will take back the video. So here what I did is split this group into 2 groups. So here we have the 2 National Guard that stay on the top of the building, and we have Brian Gamble, the SWAT guy, that is trying to move toward the interior of that building. He just opened the hatch. So what I will do is just take these pieces out, and I will just move... yeah, when I will move inside the building, I will just move the roof and place it here so we can still see a bit what's going on. So that's the end of their movement. They finish their movement. Now let's move to the next turn. I keep track. I didn't keep track of all that turn because yeah, nothing really matters now that the Fog of War card has ended. So on the next turn, this guy here will... yeah, they will just stay here. This one is Overwatch. This one will move tactically closer to him. This guy here will go down inside the building. So I'm just going to place that over here. And he basically just arrive here. And he will just start to move in that direction. And actually there is an hidden token over here. That's good to know. Yeah, I hope that there is not an enemy squad over here. Okay, so that's the end of their movement. So now for this group of enemies, I will move this guy over here, trying to, yeah, just look at what's going on over here. And my agent of the division will interact with the supplies. So basically here, and now I will roll a dice, a d6, and in d6 turn, one friendly chopper will arrive with a rope and will grab the supply. I need to hold here for d6 turn, and after that I need to exit the board from any table edge. So maybe on this side over here, or maybe where we started. So let's roll. Okay, not that great. So I need to hold 5 turns. Okay, so now all enemies are alerted, and all enemies starting next turn will try to move toward the beacon, toward the crate. Okay, so that's the end of my movement phase. Any phase actually is the end of that turn. Now we jump onto the next turn. Next turn, all enemies are alerted on the board, so the enemy commander will call for reinforcement. We'll just check the rule to see how that works and see if he managed to call in reinforcement. So I just checked the rules. The enemy commander here have a command stat of 4, and for now he rolled a 3, so he can't call reinforcement that turn, but every turn he will try to call in reinforcement. So if I can see him, I will need to take him down, so he can't, just calling some reinforcement. So now, orders for my team. I will leave those two guys that are roughly over here in Overwatch. And that's pretty much it for command. Then I will jump into the movement and tactical action. This model over here will move tactically, carefully, on this side, trying to get eyes on this token over here. And let's draw one card. Okay, not good. It's an assaulter and one rusher. So I'll place down those two models and I will continue. So here is the two models I just placed, one guy with a shotgun on the left and one guy with an SMG on the right. So pretty nice tea. Yeah. Next thing, those two guys over here, now they are they know that the enemy is alerted. So here he will move over here, and this guy will maybe move toward that point to try to cover. Let's just check the range, but it should be okay to move. Yeah, he can move up here. So so next turn they will try to all go on Overwatch. So now let's go to the movement phase of the enemy. Actually, I wanted to go here to shoot, but the enemy has to move first, so they will move 6 inches toward the objective. And I forget that, so basically they arrive at the door over here. Not good. Now, I will just do that off screen. I will move all the placement token in a direction toward the objective, and I will continue filming after that. So I just finished moving all the enemy placement tokens. So we have one over here, we have one that just came in the store, and actually here Brian Gamble saw them coming. They just rushed toward the door, so I will just draw one card. Oh, and actually it's the enemy leader, so 2 assaulter, 1 leader. So we'll just pick randomly. Oh no, that's really not good. That's really not good, damn. 3 guys rushing in front of the building. Yeah, anyway, so we have that guy, we'll place them. We have this group over here. I think that my guy here on the roof may have a line of... Yeah, they definitely have a line of sight on this token. So same thing here. I will draw one card. Oh, again. 1 assaulter, 1 thrower. So I need to place those 2 groups. Then what next? We have those tokens over here that try to move toward the alley over here. 1 token that move here and 1 over here, and that's pretty much. I need to hold 5 turns. That will be really hard, but yeah, okay. So now that's down, we'll place down the 2 groups and I will move to the combat phase. So I just placed the enemy token here, the enemy model. So here we have the leader on the middle with the pink hoodie, with 1 SMG on the right, 1 pistol on the left, and here we have 1 assaulter and 1 thrower. So let's jump onto the combat phase. First thing I'm going to do is resolve the action over here. So those 2 guys here will target at those 2 guys over here. So first thing, we have John Grimes with the Uzi. He will fire 3 shots in automatic at the guy on the back. We'll just check the range. I think I'm outside of the first range interval. Yeah, I'm outside, so I will have a -1 to hit. -1 to hit, but +1 for the elevation, so it's a 0, but still -1 because of automatic. Oop. Trying to not break everything over here. So a 4 and 2, 2. So let's resolve the 4 first. 1, he can't beat that. Now let's resolve the 2. The 2, and he also lose that 1. So the 2 shot wound him and killed him. So here is down. Now let's switch to the second one, this one. So here is Dante Adams. So John Grimes. Oh, actually, John Grimes just received 1 point. He received 1 point. So again, I will just roll a dice to select one of the stats. And 6 I will re-roll. 2 it will be agility. He gained 1 point of agility. That's cool. So now John Grimes, Dante Adams will fire with the FNX. And he will do the same thing, he will do rapid fire at -1. Yeah, rapid fire. 3 and 4, so let's roll for the 4. That's a hit. I'll roll for the 3, and that's also a hit. So he also killed that one. And here we go. So that's for this group. Those two guys just shotted at them. Now Brian Gamble will shoot at the enemy leader to prevent her for calling reinforcement. He have the SMG with automatic, so we'll fire 3 shots. 3 shot automatic at -1 because of the glass window and the glass framing. So yeah, 3 shot at -1. Okay, that cable for the mic. So 5, 4 and a 4. Let's roll defense on the 5. And yeah, basically she can't beat that. Let me just do the math. So he have a shooting of 4, +1 of the compacts at 6. And that's 5. Sorry, 4 + 1, 5. So this is a 10. 10 and 2, 9. And she have a defense of 2. So that's a 6. That's a hit for the 4. 6 + 2, that's 8. And that's a 9. So she can't beat that. So that's a hit. She is killed. 2 hits, she is killed. Okay, so that's cool. That's done. That's the end of my combat phase. That's the end of my combat phase. Now let's do the same thing here. This woman over here, she saw where the shot was coming, so she will fire back at him. And those two guys over here doesn't have any line of sight. And that's yeah, that will be the only fight. So now let's resolve her combat phase. So she will shoot at him. So on a 1, 2, 3, she basically have a standard pistol without all the accessory that we can see here, but it has compact and it has rapid fire. So on a 1, 2, 3, she will do a standard shot, and on a 4, 5, 6, she will do a rapid fire. So it's a 6, a rapid fire, so at -1 to hit, and -1 because the framing of the glass panel. So she's just firing 2 shots, a 3 and a 3, -2 for all of them, so that's a 1, and she have a shooting of, oops, sorry for that, she have a shooting of 2. So basically I need to beat I need to beat a 3 on each of these. I have a defense of 1, so I need to have 2+. Okay, so that one doesn't beat it. So I received a shot. Not good, not good. Now let's check the wound. Please tell me it's 1, 2, or 3. Please tell me it's a 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, and it's a 1. Okay. The model is stunned for 1 turn, no permanent effect. Okay. So she shoot him. He received a shot, but he doesn't suffer of anything. It's just a simple light wound. Okay. So that's good, but he's stunned. But only for the remainder of this turn. So yeah, that's good. Damn, I really need to find some body armor and I really need to upgrade my defense stats. Maybe next turn I will need... yeah, anyway. Okay, so that's the end of the combat phase for the enemy. No more line of sight. And now we are jumping on the next turn. Next turn, what I will do is place him in Overwatch. This guy that is just been injured here, he managed to cry, hey, there is someone going inside here. So we know that there is some people over here on the interior. So I'm wondering what to do with John McClane over here. So he will probably just move toward the door. This guy will remain in Overwatch. Now those two guys here will do an agility test to jump out of the roof and get on top of those dumpster over here. So agility, John Grimes is at 5 and Dante Adams at 4. So let's do John Grimes and he's okay. Let's do Dante Adams and it's also okay for him. So they both succeed the agility test. So what they will do is just jump out of the roof and move 1 inch in the direction of the gunfight because they heard that something is going on the inside over here. They want to help their body inside. So they just move over here. This guy is in Overwatch. I can remove the roof actually now. This guy here is in Overwatch. This guy here, he just turned on himself watching the door. Now let's check the enemy movement and I will start with the enemy that are already placed. Then after that we will do all the enemy movement. The enemy place token movement. So let's start with this lady over here. She just fired at Brian Gamble. She saw the two guys jumping out of the roof. So now what I will do is roll 2 dice and refer to the Zablan doctrine over here. Just going to roll 2 dice, a 1 and a 1. So basically a 1 and a 1. She will rush, move, and if line of sight, shoot. If no line of sight, sprint. But she have line of sight. She have line of sight on this group over here and him also. But she have better line of sight on these guys over here. So I guess that the best solution for her will be just actually to stay over here, try to get a bit of cover behind the post thing over here. Do the same thing with this guy over here. A 2 and a 4. A 2 and a 4, hold and shoot. So he won't move, but he will just stay in position, trying to see where there are some enemies. So he's aware of this one. He's not aware of that those two over here. But yeah, let's pretend that he was just looking at over his shoulder and he saw the two National Guard jumping out of the roof. And those two guys over here. 6 and 5 flank, so they will move and sprint. Move and sprint, okay, so that's... oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Finally a bit of luck, because here what they will do, they want to flank my guys. They know that we have some fire going on, so what they will do is go toward the side of the building, toward the objective, but they won't be able to shoot this turn. They will move and sprint. So basically move that bring him roughly over here, and they will sprint toward the exit, the second door over here. So actually that's good for me. The only problem is that this one is in Overwatch, but not looking at the correct direction, so he won't be able to see that. But this one over here will be able to shoot at them. And yeah, so Anyway, that's the end of the movement phase for the enemy that are visible. Now let's move all the enemy token, and I will keep filming after that. So here I just have one enemy token that move toward again the objective that is over here, and this guy is in Overwatch, so he just spotted that, and actually just a civilian, so that's perfect. Let's just grab one civilian over here, place it over here. So that's cool, no more enemy on this side, but there are still plenty of token over here, as you can see, and yeah, but anyway. So that's the end of the movement phase. Now let's start the combat phase. So here, when John McClane saw he was not in Overwatch, so he can only fire at the end of their movement phase, so he will fire now at the guy with the shotgun. So John McClane, he will fire 2 shots. Is he in the first range interval of his pistol? Yes, he is. So we'll just fire 2 shots, rapid fire. A 6 and a 3. That's cool for the 6 rolling defense. So he have a shooting of 4 plus 6, that's a 10. Plus 1 for the compact, that's 11. So he can't beat that. So this one is it. Now let's roll for the 3. And the 3, so 4 plus 3, so it's a 7. Plus 1, it's an 8. You have a defense of 1 plus 4, that's a 5, so this one is killed. Okay, so this one is killed. Now, this one here, this one is John Grimes. He will fire at the guy that he can see in the store behind the poster over here. So he's firing at -1. So with this Uzi, he will fire 3 shots, automatic, +1 of the compact, -1 because of the glass and the poster, even though already plenty of shots went through this glass and probably there is no more glass holding over here, but yeah, he will fire 3 shots with the Uzi. So 5, 5 and 3, so he's firing at 3, +1, -1, so 3, so basically that's an 8 to beat. So for the 5, he can't beat that. For the second 5, you have a defense of 1. That's a 6. He can't beat that either. So the 2 shot hits him. It needs to calculate the shot number 3. He's dead. Now for her, I will take him. So Dante Adams. Dante Adams will fire 2 shots, rapid fire. A 4 and a 3. So he will fire 2 shots, so 4, so we have a shooting of 4, that's 4 and 4, that's an 8, plus 2, that's a 10. She can't beat that, and the 3, that's a 7. No, that's a 9. She also can't beat that. So basically here she is also dead. Dead. Okay, so that's a lot of dead bodies. Damn, that's a lot of dead bodies. The enemy commander is down, so she can't call more reinforcement. So that's the good news. All the enemy are down over here. There is one more enemy over here, but again he roll a flank on the Zablan doctrine. That means move and shoot. He can't shoot at anyone, so that's the good news because it's the only enemy remaining on the board. I will just move out of the board the enemy that I already looted. So we'll just move those 2 guys over here and move some of the others. So only enemy that I need to loot are remaining. And I will also check at which turn we are, because I forget to count that. I think we are turn 3 and we start turn 4 but yeah, let me just check that. So next turn I will place this model here in Overwatch. This one here will do a tactical move, trying to look at this direction over here. Next we have this guy over here. He will go in Overwatch too. Brian Gamble won't go in Overwatch. Well, this one will move in the movement and tactical action. Regarding Overwatch, only this guy and this guy will move in Overwatch. Then we move to movement, so this guy move over here. This guy doesn't move. This guy heard a shot by him, so he turned and he will move in close combat on this enemy. And Brian Gamble here on the back is not stunned anymore. What he will do, he will probably just... Yeah, he needs to go on the back to help. So what he will do is just move, knock on the door. When the door will be... He's just breaking the door. That will... yeah, that will probably a bit stun those two guys over here. Just yeah, push them a bit, and he will be also in... he will just basically helping with the melee combat. And that's the end of my turn. So now he can't move since he's in melee combat. Now I will move to the movement phase on the enemy placement token. So I just move all the enemy token over here. There is 4 of them coming down the streets, and there is also one coming over here, just next to John McClane. So while first, this one I automatically detect him. That's empty, okay, perfect. Now let's roll for detection. So here we have John Grimes that can see 2 of them. So we'll check this one first. Let me just check if he can see them actually. So here we are within 16 inches. 16 inches. Detection table, he is trained. He detects on a 6. So he doesn't detect the first one, he doesn't detect the second one. So yeah, he just can't fire at them. Can he see the one on the left over here behind the car? So he can see also this one. And same thing over here. And that's a 6, perfect. He can see that one. We draw 1 card. Okay. 2 assaulter, 1 sniper. Okay, so right now I only have 1 sniper. That will be this model over here. I will just grab the 2 other assaulter and place them on the board. So that's the end of the movement phase for both the enemy and myself. Now what I will do is actually engage the group that I just discovered over here with John Grimes. John Grimes have the Uzi. Just checking the range. Yo. Struggling a bit with my ruler, again sorry for that. So 14 inches, so he's not within the first range interval, so he won't benefit for the compact, and that will be a -1. He didn't move, he's in Overwatch, so it's also a -1 because of the Overwatch. So he will do just 1 shot at -2. Oh, that's pretty bad. Shooting of 3, that's basically a 2. Rolling for defense, you have a defense of 2, so the shot miss. Okay, so that's it for him. Now for the enemy over here, Just basically the first enemy will have line of sight on John Grimes. Oh, actually, maybe a bit more. Actually, maybe all of them are in line of sight. Problem with the sniper is just behind the first enemy, so he won't be able to shoot him. So we'll fire with the two assaulters. So the first assaulter have a pistol. We'll fire 1, 2, 3. It's a standard shot. 4, 5, 6. It's a rapid fire at -1, and he just basically have his head above, so it's a -3, so -4 total. So 6 -4 shooting. He shoot at 2, so 2 plus 6. That's 8 -4. It's a 4. I need to beat a 4, and I don't beat that. So this one hits me. No, this one don't. So the first one hits me. Now let's roll lethality. Lethality, it's a 5+, so it's not lethal. Now let's roll casualty. Oh, okay. So, very bad. It's a serious wound. The model is injured and begins to bleed out and will die in 5 turns. So my guy over here... Damn, just the guy with the pistol. He received a wound. Let me just place... Okay, so that's really bad for John Grimes. He's bleeding out. Thankfully there is a friend nearby that might help him for the bleeding, but we will really need to... that's a shame. Yeah, anyway, end of the combat phase, no more line of sight on enemy. Now let's jump onto the... oh, actually there is the melee fight over here, so we'll just roll for my... let me actually check the rule first. So here what I will do is take my melee of 5, so that's an 8, and I will take the melee of the enemy, which is a 2, and that's a 1, so he is losing the melee fight, and I choose simply to kill him. So he is down. Now let's jump onto the next turn. So next turn, it's turn 5, so the chopper arrives. I don't have a chopper, so it will be my hand. Chopper arrive and pick the crate and take away the crate via a cable. So that's perfect. Now there are still lots of enemy over here. I need to extract the board as fast as possible. I have this guy that is injured. I need to take him to safety. I wanted to loot some body, but with one guy down, I'm not sure I will be able to do that. So what I will do... let me check the rule for carrying a model, because what I will probably do is, in my movement phase, before they activate, is try to grab him, take him into cover behind the back of the building, trying to push with my models over him, placing them in Overwatch to cover them. Also take my guy over here and overwatch this area in case some more people arrive, and try to exit from this side of the building. I'm just going to check the rules for carrying an injured model first. So basically what I'm going to do is drag the injured model, and I can drag him for my agility test, so Dante Adams have an agility of 4. So basically what I will do is just grab him and move him 4 inch, so that will basically, just going to move a bit the car, that will arrive over here, dragging him. So he's at 4. Let's just leave them over here. So at least he's not in line of sight anymore of the enemies. So that's the end of my movement. What I will do next is move Brian Gamble over here. Then what I will do with Nick Actually, I will use the ability from Nick Hyatt. Give a target ally this model a move or combat action. So I won't do anything with Nick for that turn, and I will give his move action to Dante Adams, so he can move again 4 inches. So that will place him over here, dragging him. Let's assume she will move something like that. So that's good. That's good. And this ability can only be used once, so it can't be used anymore. Okay, so that's good. That's good. So this one here is just waiting for the enemy to arrive to shoot at them. He can't move, and here John McClane will just rush toward the rest of the team. He has an agility of 3 plus 6, so he will basically arrive just behind the dumpsters over here, looking back behind him. Okay, that's the end of my movement phase. Now let's check what the enemy will be doing. So the enemy sniper archetype that we have in this group will always try to go in the closest high position, and in this case it will be actually over here. So we'll just move roughly 6 inches. That should bring him roughly up here, and next turn he will just jump on top of that, doing an agility test. Next, these two guys over here will use the Zablan Doctrine, so we'll roll 2 dice, a 4 and a 4. Let's check the Zablan Doctrine. A 4 and a 4, that's reckless, move and shoot, maximum movement, disregard cover. Maximum movement, that means 6 inches toward the last known enemy position, so that will bring them over here. Damn, it's a shame that just this little guy here with his pistol and his gold chain managed to injure my my guy. But yeah, it's the game. So here they just move. Brian Gamble here doesn't have line of sight. That's a shame. This one here is yeah, I think I finished the movement phase. Let's jump on to the next turn. So next turn here, my goal will be really to go toward the closest exit, which will be here on this side. So here, since he's in base contact with him, he's putting some pressure on the wound, so he's not bleeding out. So again, he will move 4 inches with the body carrying the injured teammate. Those two guys over here will move to protect him. John McClane have the Beaufort, so he will move over here, and him 6 inches. Just checking. Yep. Sorry for the camera. 6 inches. He will move to cover him roughly. Let's place him on the side of the building. And Brian Gamble here, he will just get out. He will join the rest of the team, but he will also stop to loot this dead body. So please give me one good card, at least one good card. A 6, okay, he found something. Again, 1 to 5, it's current difficulty, and on a 6, okay. It's something standard. Drawing 1 card. Oh, it's an SAMK-1A Tactical. Pretty good. High lethality. Okay, so that's cool. Brian Gamble just found that weapon. He won't use that. He will stick with the MP5. So that will come in his backpack, available for the next mission. So that's a cool news. I will just remove this guy. And yeah, let's jump onto the movement phase of the enemy. So here the sniper will just jump on top. Next turn he will be on Overwatch, but yeah, I will be off the board anyway. Those two guys here will again use the Zablan Doctrine. A 4 and a 6, so the black dice is a 4, a 4 and a 6, so flank, move and shoot, and if no line of sight, sprint. Flank, indirect pass, move around terrain or cover, if no line of sight to enemy, sprint. Okay, so basically they want to flank, so what they would like to do probably is move on back of the cars over here and try to flank my group of soldiers. They move, trying to look at the camera, they will go toward here and try to flank by this pass over here. So first what they will do is do their movement. So their movement is 6 inches. That will bring them over here. Yeah, with the MV there is no line of sight, so they will sprint. They have an agility of 2, so basically they will move again 2 inches roughly over here, and their goal will be to move down this path. So that's the end of their movement. Now we'll just keep moving all those tokens and yeah, see you for the next turn. So we start to have a lot of enemy tokens that arrive on this back alley over here, so I won't have time to loot any more dead bodies around. So first what I will do is keep my guy moving, just grabbing back the ruler. So 4 inches. 4 inches, so that brings him over here, and next turn we will be able to extract him. And the same thing over here, actually. That's yeah, let's move that guy. Let's move that guy 6 inches behind the car. Nick Hayat and Brian Gumbel will just do a sprint. So here I will move this guy over him, and those two guys will just do a run. So they won't be able to shoot that turn. But at least everyone is over here. I have my 5 guy. And yeah, let's jump onto the movement of the enemy. So I had to double check, but this sniper has indeed no line of sight on the exit over here. Now let's jump onto the movement of my enemy. Those two guys here will move 6 inches, roughly over here. And they don't have a line of sight on my troops, so they will again move 2 inches, do a sprint, the same turn, the same thing they did last turn. They want to flank me. And so that's it for their movement. The token here kept moving, but we don't see them, so really not really important. And next turn, start of the next turn, all my forces exit the board from this side. So the mission is accomplished. We still have one pretty bad injury over here. John Grimes won't be available for several other missions, so I will really need to save the doctor to help him recover faster. And I also gain 2 items that I will check in the next video. I will gain one of the superior cards and one of the high-end cards, so that will be really helpful for the rest of the campaign. But I will actually check my reward in the next video, where we will also choose the next mission and do the briefing. So thank you everyone for attending this video. Hope you find that pretty cool, and let me know in the comment what you think of this kind of video, and I will see you for the next one. Bye everyone.